Hello, and welcome to Exploring the Kofa National Wildlife Refuge, Part 1, with Flight of the CrowsWing. After leaving Sears Point and spending a couple of days in Gila Bend to do our taxes and stuff, we set our sights on Kofa, arriving just as the sun was going down.
You think that's pretty?
Here I am.
Yeah, that's pretty. Look at that. Now that's pretty. Gorgeous. Kofa National Wildlife Refuge. Our camp for tonight. Wow. Look at that. Look at that.
In the morning, we moved our camp farther up the Kofa Queen Canyon road. Closer to the mountains, the views were prettier. We were now in the wildlife refuge, and all campsites were no more than 100 feet off the road, per regulations. The name Kofa is a contraction from the name King of Arizona. This was a gold mine which produced $3.5 to $4 million in gold between 1897 and 1910. The Wildlife Refuge encompasses over 666,000 acres of Sonoran desert habitat and is home to desert bighorn sheep, Sonoran pronghorn, and the California fan palm, and many, many other species, of which we've seen very few.
On the hillside, we can see from the campsite. There's a hole and wind's blowing through.
There is a hole. There is wind. What's the hillside look like?
Thanks.
Campsite's over there towards that rock.
Where you at? What are you doing?
I'm on the other side of the mountain.
What's on the other side of the mountain?
Another mountain. And more climbing.
Yeah, we're not going that way. We're going back to check
We'll
out
go
the
back
valley. Yep. Okay.
Over the next couple of days, we did several hikes exploring the area around our campsite.
Okay. Climbed up this rock. Not so sure it was a great idea, but here we are up here, and soon we'll need to climb back down.
Near the top of the rocky knob, we found this USGS survey marker. The next day, we did another hike.
I think this is called Echo Canyon. Echo. Woo!
I think you just named it yourself, and it's just a little crack in the mountains, but
No, I'm sure this
it's
is
pretty.
the same.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Choke with brush though, so I don't know that we'll go up any further.
So that's a really red tuberosa flower.
It is very red. Tuberosa and a Palo Verde. It's beautiful. Look at the pretty flowers. You don't know what they are yet. I'm going to identify them.
I'm gonna call them red bells.
Red bells.
We meandered through the desert, hiking in and out of the many washes, always on the lookout for wildlife, pretty rocks, and anything else that struck our fancy. Like this phainopepla. Or this western fence lizard.
So, here's the hard pan of the desert floor. And then we keep finding these which must be rabbit beds.
I don't know, there's rabbit poop around all of them. It's weird. They're all out in the open.
It's very weird.
Don't know what they're doing.
I don't know what the rabbits are doing. No, I think you finished the bag.
Here's the goodness.
Later that afternoon, we drove to the end of the Kofa Queen Canyon road. This road is just over 8 miles long from the intersection on the Palm Canyon Road. It ends at the Kofa Queen Mine, which is now closed. This took us past Skull Rock. It gets very narrow in the mesquite and creosote bushes. Our truck acquired several new pinstripes. The next morning it was very windy, so we had to make our coffee in the cabin of the trailer. Later we drove into Quartzsite to run some errands. We spotted this burnt out RV. I guess they were trying to make coffee too.
What's that?
It's a map.
Map of what?
Looks like Kofa.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And it is, oh look, public use and hunting regulations, Kofa National Wildlife.
Great. You have to go all the way in and then go to
Yeah,
base.
to get any information, rather than have it there at the beginning of the wildlife refuge.
It might have. We actually went by a kiosk and didn't stop.
I didn't see anything at the kiosk other than a sign.
You didn't stop.
No.
The main attraction of the Palm Canyon Trail is a stand of California fan palms, the only native palm species in Arizona.
Palms.
Then there's this, petroglyph or graffiti.
Come on. Come here. So why did I make you climb all the way up this hill?
I can't for the life of me tell. The view is awful, and it was a lot of work.
I made you climb all the way up here because I needed you to take a picture of the palm tree with the camera, and you had it, and you were way down there. We got the picture.
We got the picture.
That's all that matters.
We don't know if it's a nice picture, but we got a picture. We'll find out.
At the palm tree, and I'm touching the palm tree. It's not very tall. It's at the same height as me. I found it. Now I have to figure out how to get the hell out of here. Spiky vine. Way up in the canyon. It's very spiky. Ouch. And a palm tree.
That night it was still very windy, so we kept our gazebo lowered. The next morning, trying to get away from the wind and the constant traffic, we moved down onto the adjacent BLM lands. This site still had great views of the Kofa Mountains, but was a lot more private. The Big Eye Mine was a gold mine that operated between 1910 and 1951. The mine produced over 2,300 tons of ore over its lifetime. Today, you can visit the mine and the adjacent cabin by driving the 15-mile-long Big Eye Mine Road. It was a very popular road the day we were there, with several groups of Jeeps and UTVs. Along the way, we stopped to smell the flowers and to check out an unnamed mine in one of the hillsides.
Mine.
We also saw this little guy, a zebra-tailed lizard. The road passes the aptly named Thumb Butte. I give it 1 thumbs up.
Big Eye Mine Cabin. What's that, my dear? Gold? Stuff and more. There's a view over top of the sink. Kitchen. Cool. Screens need replaced in the back door.
The mine had signs telling people to stay out to prevent the spread of white nose syndrome to their bats. There were scatterings of machinery left to rust artistically in the desert sun. On the way back to the truck, we spotted another lizard. This one, a side-blotched lizard. And we saw the subspecies Phainopupla. On the way in, we only needed 2-wheel drive, but on the way out, we needed to use 4-wheel drive on a short stretch of uphill road. Overall, it was a very pretty drive and a good way to spend several hours. On the 4-wheel drive scale, I would rate this as an easy trail, good for beginners. On the way out, we ran into this fellow who had lights flashing and a search and rescue sticker in his windshield. I don't know what was up, but he was moving pretty fast. That night, we had our first campfire in months. Made even better with some cookies and a bottle of rum. We're just walking through the desert behind our campsite, and we come across this, which I think it's a piece of exploded something or other from the military. We've been looking around for minerals and gems, and been looking. Oh, what's this? I found a gem. Thank you for joining us. Stay safe and
remember, if the world is bugging you, just wash your hands and eyes of it and fly away.
if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe, and leave any comments below.